Greetings, we are the Group 1, and today we will be presenting to you our research proposal. So, the group chose the title The Use of Digital Technology and Its Impact on the Mental Health Among the Senior High School of the WCC. So, the reason the group chose this topic is because nowadays technologies have been advancing throughout the years, and these technologies have played a huge role in everyone's lives since using it eases our workloads. So, digital technologies can be used effectively in education as a good example. So, ever since the pandemic has occurred, students have been using technologies as a mean of communication as well as continuation for their studies via online, that is. So, in this case study, we have chosen chosen the senior high school students as our respondents since the group's main objective is knowing the mental health problems that digital technologies could cause in them. Could- We have chosen the students since they are more prone in handling technologies and they use it more often in their education. So despite the fact that digital technologies provide entertainment, easy access to relevant informations, social connections, flexible working, and learning opportunities, they may also have some disadvantages that could negatively affect a person's mental health. So in order for us to know and understand these impacts that digital technology could bring in the students' mental health, we have made enough questionnaires to gather the needed data for the study. And so now we are going to tackle the results of our case study.
A pleasant day to all of us. It certainly is the age of modern technology, where everything seems to be easier with just one click of a button. But with the benefits digital technology has, there are also numerous side effects that may end an entire generation's mental and physical health. This research paper's main goal was to examine and determine the effects of digital technology to students, particularly from the Bindward College of Calapan Senior High School. The results and data that have been gathered were as expected because of the rampant use of digital technology for online games and social media. The majority of the students reflected the negative effects of digital technology due to the fact that it is one of the main factors why students are declining in their academic status. It may also be the cause why teenagers experience mental health disorders because of how it affects students daily in online classes and online games. Raising awareness about these issues may aid future students that are also struggling with their mental health associated with digital technology. It is apparent that the negative side of digital technology not only affects teenagers, but also the younger generation, for they experience more exposure to this because they are somewhat less aware about the consequences digital technology bring. Although digital technology may also bring comfort to us, its toll on our mental and overall health is still not worth the risk.
The data presented in this chapter were obtained through the given questionnaires from the senior high school students at DWCC and discussed through descriptive statistics. These results have been interpreted based on descriptive statistics. Tabular data and figures are used to present the findings. So the legends on the researchers chapter 4 are the strongly disagree, neutral, agree, and strongly agree. and it contains the percentage from 1.00% to 5.00%. So the question stated in the researcher's table number 1 is, how does the use of digital technology have an impact in the mental health of the senior high students in the WCC? The title of the table number 1 is the use of digital technology. So the item number 1, technology leaves students feeling isolated. The total number of mean is 3.75, while the number of the respondents is 15. And the standard deviation in item number 1 is 0.790569. And the verbal description of the item number 1 is agree. In the item number 2, nowadays, using digital technologies are more practical in terms of education. The total number of mean is 3.75. The total number of respondents is 15. And the standard deviation in item number 2 is 1.767767. And the verbal description is agree. Item number 3. I believe that digital technologies could have a huge impact on my studies. The total number of mean in item number 3 is also 3.75, and the total number of respondents is 15, and the standard deviation in the item number 3 is 1.369306, and the verbal description is agree. In the item number 4, students who use digital technologies can have a significant impact on their character development. The total number of mean is 3.00, and the total number of respondents is 15, and the standard deviation is 2.683281. The verbal description of the item number 4 is neutral. Item number 5. The moment I held my gadgets, it would take me an hour or so to let go. The total number of mean is 3.75, and the total number of respondents is 15. And the standard deviation in the item number 5 is 0.35, 35, and 53. And the verbal description is agree. And the final total number of mean and standard deviation of the table number 1 is 3.6 and 1.392895. The final verbal description is agree. Table number 1. Mean, standard deviation, and verbal description of the use of digital technology and its impact on mental health. Based on the given questionnaire, number 4 presents the lowest mean score of 3.00. Students who use digital technologies can have a significant impact on their character development. The following statement has a verbal description of neutral and falls within the subvariable use of digital technologies. As shown in the data, the following numbers 1 and 3, 4, 5 have the similar highest mean of 3.75 that falls under the subvariable of the use of digital technologies. The uses of digital technologies to the students plays a huge role in their everyday life, as well as in their education. As shown in the data, the questions with the highest mean are about how digital technologies could help the students in their academics. Digital technologies are nowadays an important source of information, considering the ease of access to all kinds of data and information. Students are more inclined to get the needed information from the internet because it is easy to access. Table number 2. Table number 2 entitled Impact on Mental Health. Item number 1. Overly use of digital technology increase risk of depression, anxiety, and suicidal that have a total number of mean of 3.75, and the total number of respondents in item number 1 is 15, and the standard deviation is 1.045825, and the verbal description in item number 1 of the table number 2 is agree. Item number 2. Digital technology like mobile devices may lead to psychological issues. That has a total number of mean of 3.75 and a total number of respondents of 15, and has a standard deviation of 1.704772, and has a verbal description of agree. Item number 3. Use of digital technologies improves mental health. That has a total number of mean of 1.00 and has a total number of respondents of 15 and has a standard deviation of 4.123105 or 3.570714, and has a verbal description of strongly disagree. Item number 4. Digital technologies are the only way to deal with other mental problems, and they have become a favorite pastime for people to forget their burdens. That has a total number of mean of 3.00 and has a total number of respondents of 15 and has a standard deviation of 0.00. That has a verbal description of disagree. Item number 5. Having media addictions can hinder my academics. That has a total mean of 3.75 and a total respondents of 15 and has a standard deviation of 1.369306 and has a verbal description of agree. And the final total number of mean and standard deviation of the table number 2 is 3.05 and 1.6486016 and has a verbal description of neutral. Table number 2, mean, standard deviation, and verbal description of the use of digital technologies and its impact on mental health. Based on the given questionnaire, number 3 represents the lowest mean score of 1.00. Use of digital technologies improves mental health. The following statement has a verbal description of strongly disagree and falls within the sub-variable use of impact on mental health. As shown in the data, the following numbers 1 to 5 have the similar highest mean of 3.75, the following statement has a verbal description of agree that falls under the subvariable of the impact on mental health. In this table, it shows the uses of digital technologies could have an impact on the mental health of the chosen respondents. The question, use of digital technologies improves mental health, has the lowest mean and falls under the verbal description of strongly disagree. It tells that the students finds digital technologies harmful in different ways when the user overexpose themselves on the radiation that the technology emits. Another data with the highest mean which falls under the verbal description of agree shows that respondents find digital technologies could cause psychological issues and other mental health problems. In these days of adolescence, many teenagers become addicted to their digital devices and have a hard time giving them up, especially when it comes to education. Students have relied more on these technologies for it is easy for them to access it in informations that would be relevant for them. So based on these findings, it truly shows that the overly usage of digital technology has really have a negative impact in the students' mental health.